Well, Colleen, after the crime, the pain, and the outrage, after the complaints and the church and the civil investigations, after the judges, juries, and jail sentences, what happens to the lives of those involved? Tonight we're going to show you the end result of the crime of sexual abuse of a child by a priest. Here's the story of one man who says he has put the past behind him and one who says he can't.
He would use his control, the kind of control that I was used to as being an altar boy, to molest me and have his way. People in his neighborhood who may have kids may not know, that this has happened.
He's talking about Tom McLaughlin, known to many as Father Mac, the former priest who can now be found tending to his garden. McLaughlin now lives and operates a business within a stone's throw of two new residential neighborhoods with lots of kids here in the Columbus area. McLaughlin says if you ask his neighbors and business associates, they have no idea of his criminal history chronicled in the newspaper archives at the Columbus Library. The allegations that as a priest he sexually abused at least 7 young boys. The plea bargain and conviction in connection with one of those. That he went to prison for 18 months from 1989 until 1991 for the sex crime, or that his record has been expunged and legally erased under a law designed to give first-time offenders of certain crimes a second chance.
What do you think about his record being expunged?
I don't think it's fair.
Why not? He's paid his price, he would say.
Right. I'm a very firm believer in people getting a second chance. But I also feel that people should know that that person's getting a second chance.
McLaughlin, who admits he is not cured but recovering, tried to hide from our camera when we approached him about the subject, but then continued to talk to us anyway. What do you think your neighbors would say if they know?
Heavens only knows. I think they would. I don't know what they. I think it would be awful. I think some of them perhaps would be afraid.
At the time, Mike Peters was a member of the Church of the Resurrection here in New Albany. Father Tom McLaughlin founded this church and was the pastor. Mike Peters' parents were the first ones to bring the allegations of sexual abuse to the diocese's attention. Shortly after that, another 5 alleged victims from here came forward.
According to court documents in a civil lawsuit against McLaughlin, other victims have suffered severe and permanent negative effects because of McLaughlin's extreme and outrageous sexual behavior with minor male members of his parish. Peters says victims will always suffer.
Ever since my sophomore year, when it had happened, I'd been to several psychiatrists, and it just doesn't seem to help. All I want to do is sleep because of the depression. And it's because of what had happened with Mac. It's been really hard for me to have any kind of relationship with any women.
You feel sometimes as though you can't go on?
Well, yeah. I've had several suicide attempts.
I've suffered too. I've gone to prison. I've lost my job. I'm trying to build a new life.
I don't see how what he has done and how he has ruined some of the kids' lives, how he can say that 18 months has been hard for him. I don't see how that even compares.
I'm miserably sorry. I would do anything I could to repair any damage, but period.
I think he could be sorry for what he did, but saying I'm sorry to someone whose life is ruined, I don't see where that's justified.
Despite the conviction, McLaughlin will still collect his $600 a month church pension in 5 years when he turns 70. He said when he was released from prison in 1991, the diocese was going to hold a church court trial to throw him out, which would have meant that he would have lost his retirement. Instead, he said the church decided to give him his retirement money in exchange for his promise to never embarrass the church or talk about this to anyone. McLaughlin agreed. McLaughlin says he still goes to sex offender support group meetings 3 times a week. Colleen?